The thing about states of matter is that they can actually change from one state into the next, and then back again through the process of adding more heat to it or removing some of that heat and letting it cool down. So you're probably familiar with water. It's one of the most common ones. So you can have ice, which is the solid state of water, and then you leave it on the bench and it gets warmer, and then it melts into some liquid, so it's liquid water. And then through more heat being applied, you can boil it and turn it into steam, okay, or water vapor. And you can go the other way down, so if the steam cools down, it can then condense back into water, and if you cool it down even further, you can freeze it and turn it back into ice. So we can cycle through them, and we're just going to go through some of the terminology. We're going to develop some of your literacy. There are 2 extra words that you probably haven't heard of before. They are extra special, so you need to keep your eyes peeled out for that one. So we have a bit of a triangle here, where we've just talked about them one after another in a straight line, but I think it's more helpful to you if you imagine the states of matter in terms of a triangle. You can go from solid to liquid by melting it, yeah? Very simple. You can go from liquid to gas by evaporating it or boiling it. That's also acceptable. And we talked about how we can go back the other way. So in the blue pen here, to go from gas to liquid, I can condense it, or condensation. Okay, I condense the liquid down. And I can go from liquid to solid by freezing. You with me? What about these 2 states? Here I've got an extra arrow. Here's the ones you probably haven't seen or heard of before. Some materials, very special materials, can go straight from solid to gas state. Carbon dioxide is one of those special materials, especially when it's in the form of dry ice. Dry ice you get to play with. In the next couple of weeks, if you're in my class, we'll get to play with a bit of dry ice. But for those of you at home, I'll try and find a clip of it somewhere. If not, Google it. But it goes straight away from solid to gas state, and it feels dry. It doesn't feel wet. If it was wet, then you can imagine it was going through the liquid state, then to gas, because you might feel a bit of that liquid, slimy feel. But no, dry ice is dry. So it doesn't even go through the liquid phase. It goes straight across to gas. And we call this sublimation. Okay, that's a new term. You need to keep your eyes peeled for those special occasions where it goes solid to gas. Now you can go the other way. You can go gas straight away to solid without going through the liquid state. And we call that deposition. So you can see the word here. It looks like the word deposit, almost like a bank deposit, where you deposit a bit of money into your savings. Same idea, you are depositing some of those gas particles and packing it down into a solid again. So that's the physical states and how they can change from one to the next by either adding heat or removing heat. I've drawn my arrows in red to indicate what happens when you add heat. So solid plus heat gives you liquid, liquid plus more heat you get your gas, or in some cases, solid can be heated up to turn straight away into gas. If you follow the blue arrows, that's what happens when you cool things down. So you cool down the gas. Some occasions it could go down into a solid state straight away by deposition, or in most materials it'll go through the condensation and then through freezing. And with that said, we're going to go into some of the main bit of chemistry you're going to learn that'll work for all of your grade 8, your 9, your 10, and senior 11 and 12 chemistry, and that is the particle model. Sometimes you might hear it referred to as the kinetic theory of matter. Let's get started.